Greetings and salutations. I'm Madison, and today I'm coming at you with completely straight, unstyled hair because I'm going to be teaching you step by step how I achieve my classic vintage hairstyle. I posted a vintage hair tutorial about 6 years ago, and looking back at that, I realized I just need to make a fresh new one because I have very much changed how I do my hair. I have made it faster, simpler. I think it's healthier for my hair now than the way I was doing it before. And just overall, I think it has a more classic, true vintage look. So I'm hoping that this updated hair tutorial will both be helpful for beginners who are just starting out on their vintage hair journey, and maybe even helpful for people who have been doing vintage hair for a while and you might pick up some new techniques or something to add to your own hairstyle routine. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I'm going to be doing is removing my jewelry because we do not want our jewelry to be damaged while we're styling our hair. This jewelry was sent to me by Ana Luisa. They are a wonderful jewelry company that kindly sent me several pieces to test out and review and of course share with you all. So while I am removing my jewelry, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Ana Luisa and their beautiful jewelry. I have admired Ana Luisa's jewelry for a long time, and I am very pleased to be able to work with them today. Since 2018, Ana Luisa's mission has been to create timeless jewelry that is both high quality and sustainably made. Their jewelry not only enhances the beauty of your wardrobe, but they also help to preserve the beauty of our environment by using recycled materials and avoiding excessive mining. I was sent the Temple Green layered necklace set along with 3 rings, the Betsy, the Amara, and the Michelle. Each piece is so beautiful in person, and I've been wearing all of these non-stop since I received them. Most of all, I was very pleased with the Ana Luisa team. I found them to be so helpful. They took great care of me and made sure everything fit properly and that I was 100% happy with each piece. All of their jewelry has undergone extensive testing against tarnishing, allergic reaction, and breakage. However, if you are not completely satisfied with each piece, all their jewelry is covered by a 2-year warranty. So if something is broken or you're not happy with your purchase, they will send you a replacement or a refund, no questions asked. So if you want to get something special for a loved one or for yourself, be sure to check out Ana Luisa Jewelry. I have a link to their website down in the description box below, along with a discount code for 20% off your order. Before we get started, you will need some tools. First, you will need a brush to brush out and style the curls, preferably one mixed with boar bristles and plastic bristles. This one is my favorite. I've been using it for years, and it is from the company Denman. A rat tail comb is useful for sectioning off hair, and the comb's fine teeth help to define waves or add volume through teasing. I use the pink large size of foam rollers, and I use around 18 for my entire head. You may need less or more depending on the thickness of your hair and how much hair you have. You can either use store-bought hair setting lotion or you can make your own. I personally like to make my own, and I have a whole recipe video sharing how you can easily make flaxseed hair setting lotion at home. Be sure to watch that if you want to make your own, and I will also have that linked in the description box below. A large scarf will help protect the hair and keep the curlers in place. This is especially useful if you plan to sleep in your rollers overnight. Long alligator clips are useful for keeping sections apart when you are curling, and they can be used to define waves after the brush out. I think the use of bobby pins is pretty self-explanatory. They are useful for pretty much any kind of hairstyling that you do, and it is always a good idea to have them on hand. I use Rave's 4X Mega Unscented Hairspray. This stuff is vital if you want to keep your hair in place all day long. And so far, it has been the only hairspray that really holds for me and keeps my hair intact through the hot and humid summer months. Now we have all of our tools, let's talk about haircuts. Having your hair cut the right way will affect how your curls turn out. If you have shock straight hair with no layers in it whatsoever, or if you have very long hair, that is going to affect the turnout of your curls. I personally have some layers in the front, and I do not put any layers in the back, just to create a kind of horseshoe shape. If you cut your own hair, you should find this pretty easy to do. I do it myself and I find it pretty easy to cut. If you are going to a hair salon, you may want to bring some vintage hair cutting patterns with you and share them with your stylist. Also, the length of your hair will change as you curl it. It will get shorter when it's curled, so you need to have your hair be a little bit longer than you think it needs to be, if that makes sense. So first I'm going to brush my hair. I'm going to brush it thoroughly because you do not want any tangles in your hair. After I've brushed my hair, I'm going to take my rat tail comb. The pointy side of the rat tail comb is perfect for creating nice, sharp, and clean parts, which is what we want. To find where I'm going to part my hair, I align the rat tail comb with the arch of my eyebrow. I go up and then slowly pull it back and pull the hair to the side, and then I just clean up that part. Now I'm going to transfer the rest of the hair over, making sure to get the hair that's behind the ear. Usually there's a little bit of hair that gets tucked behind the ear. We're going to pull all of that out and forward. And then we're going to smooth out the other side. So to curl your hair and to have the curls stick, you need to have a bit of moisture. I use a homemade hair setting lotion, and I've been using this for years. It is my go-to. I don't really recommend using hair gel or hairspray because it's going to be too crunchy and you're going to get these very either oily looking or very crunchy curls that are not authentic to the time period. Now we are going to section out the bangs. In the front, I like to take one finger and part out a section, then the other finger goes underneath, the two fingers meet, and then I pull out this section of hair. Usually this creates a square part. If you struggle with parts, or if you have hair like mine that just likes to flop and move all over the place, you can utilize one of those long clips. Just keep the hair out of the way while you're working with this section. I like to split this in two because alone it's a bit much. So split these sections into two. I'm going to introduce my moisture, which is my homemade hair gel. I'm going to saturate it fairly well. You don't want it to be soaking wet, but you want the hair to be saturated. If you want to, you can comb through a couple of times. That's what I like to do, is to really make sure that the product is thoroughly through the hair. Now I'm taking a roller and I'm putting the hair under, and you do not want this hair to stick out. You want this hair to go underneath the top part of the hair. And don't worry if a little bit of hair falls out. You can just grab that and roll it once the roller can reach that bit of hair. So take it till the end reaches the roller, kind of tuck it under the top part of the hair. Now I take my fingers and I hold the roller like this, and I found this is the most effective way to hold the hair in the roller as the piece grows. So going back, taking the loose pieces of hair, brushing them over. You don't want to have the hair be twisted, it will not turn out. So you need the hair to be as flat as possible. However, you can turn the curler and place it where it's comfortable. I have found the best way to get volume, to get good volume, is to turn these front pieces to the side. So you can see they're not twisted, it's just turns very naturally. And then you want it to go all the way down to the root of the hair. Then snap the end in place. Now we're going to work on the second part of the bangs. Put some gel in. Grab a roller and start curling. Again, you want this to be flat, no twists whatsoever, and you want the tip of this piece to go under the top part here, keeping it as smooth as possible, adding any flyaways when you can reach them. And snap it in place. If you need to redo a curler, that's fine. I tend to need to kind of replace things. But the main goal is you do not want them to be too tight and you don't want them to be too loose. So the next part, I use my ear and thumb as sort of a measurement. I go from the base of the ear, work my way up, collect that piece, and this is going to be different from up here. Instead of having them face this way, we're going to curl it and turn it this way, and then we're going to curl towards the face. Push it down and snap it in place. And the curls should look clean. They have a certain look when they are set right, so they should not look like they are clinging to the roller for dear life or hanging down here. They should be able to hold their own. So for the rest of the hair, it's pretty simple. I just repeat this step over and over for all of the pieces. There's no sectioning the hair on the top and the middle and the bottom and doing different layers. I just find that doesn't work for me, and it takes a very long time. I found it much easier just to curl them this way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take little sections, maybe about an inch and a half worth of hair. Adding the gel. Grab another curler. Pull it to the end. Rolling towards the face. And locking it in place. And you can see how they start to kind of fit together. And I found this to be very comfortable when I'm sleeping. To have it this way, it basically creates a second pillow instead of having these lines of plastic and foam, which can be a bit fiddly to arrange when you're trying to sleep. And just repeat this over and over. It's not rocket science, it's just hairstyling. Okay, now that I've gotten this far, I'm going to go to the other side. I find it easier to do the front parts first and then go to the back. So we're gonna do this side. Because this side has less hair, the temptation may be to want to do bigger sections, but what you need to do is have a little bit smaller sections, and that is going to even out the hair volume. And again, we are going to turn this roller this way towards the face. And if a piece slips down, you can sort of mold it back in place, clip it, and then we have our other side. Now when I get to the back of my ear here, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to take the roller and point it to the back, away from my face. There is one more step before we are done with the setting process, and that is to add a little bit of moisture to the curls. I like to put my hands under a faucet and then very gently pat all the way around the curlers. I've found that this works better than starting with wet hair. In the past, I would work with wet hair and I would go through all this work of setting it just to find some pieces in the back were still wet and my hairstyle was ruined. So what I like to do is start with dry hair and then introduce a little bit of moisture with my setting gel, which also makes it smoother and easier to style. Then after everything is curled, I introduce a little bit of moisture with some water. This will guarantee that you not only have a well set curl, but you will also have a dry curl. After you've added your water, you want to take a hair scarf like this one, and you're going to tie it around your head. And this is going to protect your curlers from falling out or getting damaged or tugging or pulling in any way. It's just going to secure those rollers throughout the night. Now we wait. I usually wait around 8 to 10 hours for these to fully set. So usually what I do is I set them in the evening, and then in the morning I take everything out and give it a good brush out. Usually in hair setting, people emphasize the brush out and they emphasize your curling technique. However, an important part of getting a good vintage hairstyle is the uncurling of the hair, the taking down of the curlers. You do not want to just open it and yank it out. You're going to unclip the roller, unroll it a little bit, and then just let the ringlet unwind from the curler. And there we have our first curl. So this not only prevents breakage, so you're not ripping the hair out of your scalp, this also helps prevent some of the frizziness that I know a lot of people deal with when they are curling their hair with foam rollers. Let's try that again. Unclip, grab the hair, and then just let it coil to form a nice little ringlet. Before we get to brushing, I like to run my hands through my hair just to break up the curls. I find that this melts the curls together better than just diving into brushing. Now that we have run our fingers through our hairstyle, I'm going to do a little bit of teasing. I like to tease the front part of my hair just to give it a little bit of height so that it elongates my rather round face. Now all I'm doing is back combing very gently at the base, smoothing out the front, and then we'll do that again. Okay, now we have our teased top, and as you can see, it's starting to take shape. So we are going to take our mixed boar bristle and plastic bristle brush, and we're going to run that through the hair. You don't really have to be gentle. You shouldn't obviously be pulling your hair out, but you do not have to be super careful about the curls falling out if you've set them right. You're going to want to push your hair away from your face, and then you're going to want to fluff out the curls by going underneath and down. That's going to give you a really nice shape. What I like to do is just some fine tuning. I like to take my comb and smooth out the top part. You're going to find this will make a big difference in the shape and the wave in the back. So sometimes I do not even need to clip the back. This just handles all of the weight that usually collects in the back and smooths it all out. If you have some frizz over in these top bits here, again, you can use your comb, smooth those out. This is done, but you can do a lot of different hairstyles with this sort of base look. You could obviously go out of the house with this hairstyle. However, I usually like to style it a bit more. So I take some bobby pins, and then I just take this part of my hair and pin it back. And to make sure that it holds, I take another pin and create a cross section. And that will lock the other one in place and create this really nice tight hold on the hair. Repeat that on the other side. Now I'm just smoothing everything out, making it all one piece. At the end of the day, there are going to be variables, there are going to be days where it does not turn out perfectly, and that's all right. But curls can be very forgiving. All right, now we are ready for hairspray. So I'm going to spray this all over my hair, and then sometimes I will actually brush out the hairspray a little bit because I don't want it to look crunchy, I don't want it to look stiff. So sometimes I will style my hair a little bit, spray the hairspray, and then run a brush through it once more just to get it perfect and the right consistency that I want. Spray over top, let that rest, go underneath. Now, again, use my hands. I'm taking some of the fluff out, taking some of the frizz. And that is how I achieve my everyday vintage hairstyle. So I hope that you find this video both helpful as well as enjoyable. If you did enjoy this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to check out Ana Luisa jewelry for beautiful, timeless jewelry pieces that would be a great staple for your wardrobe or a wonderful gift for a loved one. I have the link to their website down in the description box below, along with a 20% off discount code. If you would like to give me extra support and gain access to bonus material and exclusive content, also be sure to check out my Patreon, which is linked in the description box below and at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching.